Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm here to talk about some exciting news we've been watching here in Davor over the last month. First story is an acquisition. Savant, a home automation software company and solution company, have purchased GE Lighting from GE. It's for a rumoured $250 million. This is a lot less than GE had hoped for, but it's a big play for Savant. Savant have revenues estimated between $15 and $75 million. They only have 200 employees, and through this acquisition, they're actually bringing on board all 700 employees from GE Lighting. So GE Lighting have a storied history. They go all the way back to Thomas Edison back in 1879. He invented the incandescent lamp. In 1890, GE was founded, and in 1911, GE Lighting was founded as a division within GE. In the 130-year history, GE have had so many lighting innovations, from the tungsten filament, halogen lamps, fluorescent lamps, the LED. But look, this is GE now getting out of consumer lighting. Savant will still be able to use the GE Lighting brand, but this mirrors kind of what we've seen elsewhere. Philips sold their lighting division to Signify. Osram sold their lighting division to Sylvania. So, I guess what's going on in the lighting market? Well, I guess, since LEDs took over, selling lights that have a 20-year lifespan before they need to be replaced really has made it somewhat of a race to the bottom. There's also cheap manufacturing coming in from places like China. Really has made it a race to the bottom. So where is the opportunity in lighting? And well, there still is an opportunity, and it's in IoT. So by changing the lights in an average business office to LED, you can shave about 60% of your electricity lighting bill. You can get smarter with reacting to vacancy, occupancy, natural light. You can actually shave another 10% off that bill. But beyond just energy savings, there is also an opportunity there to create smart services where you can build these services on top of your lighting infrastructure to create operational efficiencies within your organization. So you think about lighting indoor and outdoor, they are positioned in a prominent place. They can get a good view of an interesting area, that typically areas that are interesting enough to be lit up. And they are in a good position to be able to observe what's going on. So by putting IoT sensors into the lights and into the lighting infrastructure, you can actually sense those environments, and then from that data that you collect, you can perform analytics, you can perform spatial analytics, environmental analytics, and this is probably the next wave of innovation in lighting. So look, we're keen to see where Savant take the GE Lighting brand, if they can take them down this path and create some truly smart services on top of this lighting infrastructure. Really hope it is a positive chapter for the famous GE Lighting brand. Quick update on security and IoT. We've seen that a team of researchers from Carnegie Mellon University, the research group in CyLab, they've released a prototype for an IoT security and privacy nutrition label for IoT devices. The idea being that when you have an IoT device in your hand, and you can look at the packaging and you can clearly see the approach of that vendor to security and privacy, in a similar way that if you buy food, you can look at the nutrition label and see the nutrition stats, like your calories and things like that. So the prototype looks great. I think it could certainly help form the basis of a standard way of communicating this type of information. I'm going to put a link in the description so you can go and check out the prototype label. I think in the next version it would be great if they could incorporate some sort of score that encapsulates adherence to the 7 security controls that NIST outlined. Just came out in April, so it was probably late into the research. So I think maybe it's something that new that they can look to align with. This comes at a key time for IoT. So Gartner research shows that in 2020, 25% of attacks on the enterprise are going to be IoT related. Zscaler, our VPN technology provider, they have seen that IoT transactions have increased in volume by 1,500% this year. 83% of the transactions are taking place in clear text channels, the worst offenders being consumer devices like IP cameras, wearables, watches, things like that. So there's a big opportunity in IoT security. It's estimated that in 2018 it was an $8.47 billion market, growing to a $73.92 billion market by 2026. That's a CAGR of 31.2%. So it's a big opportunity, but these initiatives from the likes of NIST and the research that Carnegie Mellon are conducting are all stepping stones towards that opportunity. Finally this month, we saw an investment in Siren for $11.8 million. That brings their total investment up to $22 million. Siren produce remote health monitoring technology that's woven into textiles like smart socks. Their smart sock product, it monitors temperature, movement, ultimately being able to detect onset of things like ulcers or inflammations or other injuries. It potentially has COVID-19 applications as well, as raised temperature can be an indication. But as well as that, they've also highlighted the shift in virtual care from a nice to have to a need to have. Patients must use remote patient monitoring to send crucial healthcare data to physicians. We here in Davra have been researching wearable technology in healthcare as part of a Irish government funded collaboration that we have with Dublin City University and Irish SME Denalto. And what we have found is that if you can find wearable technology for healthcare that is non-intrusive, it stands a much greater chance of being adopted. And certainly weaving the technology into clothing looks like an interesting approach to achieving that. And actually, as part of that funded collaboration that we have, Dublin City University have this week launched a survey which aims to help us understand how we can employ technology to support older adults living at home independently. I'll put the link to the survey in the description, but if you are an older adult, or if you are a formal or informal caregiver for an older adult, we would love to hear your thoughts on this. So please do feel free to take the survey. So that's it for this month. Come back again next month for more exciting IoT news.